Hi Gemini, welcome to your love reading for February 2018. This is Elizabeth from channelguidance.com. Okay, so I've already shuffled the deck. Let's go ahead and begin. We'll start off with this deck. Let me get you 9 cards. This is the love reading for the sign of Gemini for February 2018. The first card that you have is the Two of Pentacles. Love reading for the sign of Gemini. Justice. Love reading for the sign of Gemini. Knight of Cups. Love reading for the sign of Gemini. Ten of Cups. Love reading for the sign of Gemini. Death. Love reading for the sign of Gemini. The Star. Love reading for the sign of Gemini. The Nine of Swords. Love reading for the sign of Gemini. The Eight of Pentacles. Love reading for the sign of Gemini. The King of Swords. Okay, what's the most important message that Gemini needs to hear for February 2018? And you have the Nine of Cups. So this does represent your wishes being granted, but it also represents being very emotionally satisfied. Okay, so we'll come back to this to see how it ties in with the rest of the reading. Let's focus on the first 3 cards. So you have the Two of Pentacles, Justice, and the Knight of Cups. So for some of you, I mean, the Two of Pentacles, this is such a wishy-washy energy of going back and forth, and that's like the strongest feeling that I get from it. It's like you've been in a relationship, and this just came up for Aquarius as well. You may be in a relationship where there's a lot of guessing, like you're not knowing whether things are going to work out, or somebody's just not committing to you. Somebody keeps going back and forth, or there could be another partner and a lot of indecision. I feel like things are finally working out for you because you do have Justice, which means if you have been hurt or wronged in some way by somebody going back and forth in the relationship, either because they're unsure about you or because there's someone else, this person could be really making things up to you with the Justice card being here. This could even be an apology. And remember that you do have the Nine of Cups, means that your wishes are granted. So it could be, a relationship that kind of feels like all up in the air and a lot of instability and scattered energy. Things, this person is finally making things up to you. You also have the Knight of Cups. And the Knight of Cups, this does represent positive movement in your love life. This represents a knight in shining armor, somebody proposing a relationship to you, love, marriage. So you know what it feels like here? Just, something where you've not been getting what you deserve. A lot of going back and forth, or somebody having to choose, like you or someone else. It could even be you. Hard to tell in a general reading. Maybe you've had to pick between partners. I feel like you're finally making things right, and there's finally positive movement in your love life. Okay, let's move on to the second row. You also have the Ten of Cups, Death, and the Star. So I mean, you have 2 major arcanas right here. There is supposed to be some type of life-altering change in your love life. This could be marriage. This could even be divorce if that is what you're looking at. But this is just, an ending and a new beginning. And you do have the Star. So now you have the Star and the Knight of Cups. This is very much telling me that you're getting what you want. The Star represents your hopes and wishes being granted. Whatever it is you've been hoping for, it's yours. And you also have this right next to the Ten of Cups, the happily ever after card, marriage, children, but also a lot of happiness. So you have now the 9 and 10 of Cups, and the 9 of Cups, the Wish card, and the Star card, hopes and wishes. So strong message of you getting exactly what you've been wanting, and a lot of happiness around you. So I feel like, if you've been stuck in this place where things have been really unstable in a relationship or in a marriage, there's going to be some type of huge transformation. That's the energy of the Death card. A huge transformation in either a relationship or a marriage. This could even be a relationship that ended, because it is death. With death, there's always an ending that suddenly comes back to life, where there is a lot of happiness waiting for you. And with the Star card being here, this is exactly what you have been wanting. Now down here, you have the Nine of Swords. So a lot of anxiety, a lot of worrying, and this is with your energy as an air sign. You have the King of Swords, male or female. And I feel like whatever it is that you've been stressing about with this energy here, where you've just been driving yourself crazy, as far as is this person going to come back to me? Are we going to stay together? You have the Eight of Pentacles telling you what's going to happen in the situation. The Eight of Pentacles means there's going to have to be a lot of effort, a lot of work. But I mean, you do have very positive, encouraging messages. The Star and the Nine of Cups, this is like spelling out for you. You're getting exactly what you want. Remember that the Nine of Swords is worry without merit. So whatever it is that you're worrying about, it's not even going to happen. It's your mind is playing tricks on you. But there could be, you know, a relationship with the Eight of Pentacles being here. There could be a relationship where you really have to work on it. You really have to build things up, because you did start off with kind of, you know, a weird energy. The Two of Pentacles, kind of, you know, a relationship perhaps up in the air, some indecision. I can't tell if this is like you or your partner, like somebody going back and forth. But I mean, there's a strong message of like somebody making things right, and then finally movement in the right direction with the Knight of Cups being here. Let's get a few more cards from the same deck to see what other messages there are. What other messages are there for the sign of Gemini for February 2018? You have the Hierophant, messages for the sign of Gemini for February. The King of Wands, messages for Gemini. And the Knight of Swords. I'll put them here. So these three cards. So the High Priest, this is the Hierophant. So this message is telling you that there will be a lot of signs, there will be a lot of guidance for you as far as what is going to happen in your relationship. This is, you know, a sense of belonging. So for some of you, you may really feel like, you know, you belong with someone. This is a card of soulmates and kindred spirits. This can be with someone who is a fire sign. Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, where you just feel like you know, this person gets me and I feel at home with them. We belong together. You do have this Knight here, and this Knight does represent movement. You have another Knight, so now you have two. Knight of Cups, Knight of Swords. This is something, you know, very kind of unexpected happening. And it could be, I mean, I'm getting this weird message here, these three cards, that for some of you, it can even be for singles, but even for those who are in a relationship, that there can be a fire sign that comes into your life out of nowhere. Again, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. This person comes into your life and it's like bang. You feel like this instant connection with them, with the Knight, sorry, not the Knight, the High Priest, the Hierophant. You feel like this is like my soulmate. This is a kindred spirit. Things can move very quickly with the Knight of Swords being here. This is not a Knight that, you know, stops and analyzes and let's go slow. This Knight jumps right in. This is a lot of energy, a lot of things moving very quickly. So this can be somebody new that you're meeting, but for those who are already coupled, this can just be that, you know, there's problems in a relationship, or maybe this is someone that comes from the past where there's an opportunity to work things out. And with these three cards here, you're like, you know, there's nothing to think about. You know, like, yes, I do want you back. Especially if this person is a fire sign, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. I just see, you know, something changing very quickly. A lot of, you know, an impulsive decision, impulsive action, being really impulsive, and, you know, just kind of feeling like this is where I belong. This is the person that I belong with the Hierophant being here. Okay, so let's get some more confirmation from the other deck. What other messages are there for the sign of Gemini for February 2018? You have the Six of Wands. What other messages are there for the sign of Gemini? The Ten of Cups. So interesting that they're both right here. Let me just move you down so you can see it. Ten of Cups, Ten of Cups. Repeating card. Messages for the sign of Gemini. Five of Swords. I'll put it here. What's the most important message that Gemini needs to hear for February? Ace of Cups. So this should be a time of new beginnings for you. New beginnings. And this could be, you know, even rekindling a relationship. I feel like if you're going to be rekindling a relationship, you're going to have to really be careful, because I mean, you do have the Five of Swords here. There's a lot of, I feel like if it's something that has already existed, you have to make sure that the relationship is really back on track, because you do have the Eight of Pentacles here. But this is telling you that this can either be a new love coming into your life, or this can be a time of rekindling a relationship with someone from the past. Remember that you did have the Nine of Cups, telling you that you're going to get exactly what you have been wishing for. And you also have the Star right here. Your hopes and wishes are very much front and center in February. Okay, so let's take a look at these three cards. The Six of Wands. Victory. You're overcoming any obstacle that you had in your path, whether it's an obstacle to meeting somebody or an obstacle as far as like, you know, staying together with someone. You did start off with this difficult energy from the Two of Pentacles. A lot of wishy-washy energy, a lot of going back and forth. Nothing's for sure. You're overcoming it with the Six of Wands. And a repeating energy. Let me just get it out of the way here. Ten of Cups. The most important message for you. Same card, different decks. February should be a time where you should be having this happily ever after. This can even be that, you know, marriage is very much a possibility for you, or having a child. It's your time to be happy. It's your time to be having that happily ever after. And with the Nine of Cups and the Star being in this reading, this is a time for you to be getting exactly what you want. There is a word of caution here with the Five of Swords. It's like, be careful, because the Five of Swords does represent, sometimes it represents you not making the best decision. This can be an empty victory. I mean, it's kind of ironic that you have victory here in a minor arcana, victory, and then an empty victory. And I feel like for some of you, this can be with someone from the past, where, you know, you have been thinking about someone and really thinking and thinking, like, you know, I wish this person would come back to me. I wish they would finally commit. And I see that here with the Justice card, and I see it here with the Knight of Cups. But it could be that once you connect, you might not feel that, you know, that person and you are really clicking the way that you used to. That won't apply to everyone, but I mean, the Five of Swords is that energy of like, you get exactly what you want, and then it's like, why did I even hope for that? But this can also be sabotage. I mean, the Five of Swords it's a difficult energy. It's a difficult energy, and it could be that, you know, you're working against yourself in some way. I just feel like you have to be cautious, especially with relationships from the past where you're forgiving someone, because I mean, I see that right here. You're having to forgive someone, or you're having to let somebody make things up to you. Make sure that things are what they seem. I mean, you do have the Ten of Cups 2 times, so your happiness is very much like front and center, possibility of marriage, but also the possibility of regretting a decision. It could be that there's somebody out there that's better for you. I mean, you did have as the main energy the Ace of Cups. This could be a time where there can be somebody new. There could be somebody new, and I did feel, let me just move you this way. I did feel right here with the High Priest, the Hierophant, the King of Wands, and the Knight of Cups, that for some of you, there could be someone that you meet where like instantly, it's like love at first sight, you know that you belong with this person. And this could be a fire sign, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, where things move very, very quickly with the Knight of Swords. This is just like, you know, like meet one day and like you're living together in like 2 weeks or something. It's just, it's a really kind of impulsive energy. I just feel like, you know, whatever it is that's happening with you, you have to be careful, because there could be a decision that you regret. There's a possibility of you being really spontaneous here, not really thinking things through very carefully. This could be with someone from the past, because I mean, I do feel that something has been really stressing you out with the Nine of Swords, really kind of worrying you, where you really have to work through this. You have to build a relationship up again. Maybe you have to learn to trust somebody again. I feel like this is someone from the past. I mean, your happiness is here 2 times, literally like side by side. 10 of Cups, 10 of Cups. This is your time to have, you know, that happily ever after, to finally be happy. The Wish card. The Wish card. The Star card. It's a time for you to be getting exactly what you want. A time of new beginnings. A time of people making things up to you. People that have wronged you or hurt you in some way. But I feel, I'm just keeping that message. Don't work against yourself. It could be that, you know, you don't want to move too quickly in either jumping into a new relationship or forgiving somebody. I just feel like you have to take things slow. Okay, Gemini, this has been your love reading for February 2018. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will speak to you again next month.